Good evening. My name is Anand Sharma and I am the Chief Mentor for IMS Learning Center in Coimbatore. Today we are going to discuss about the new formula that the center has brought out to determine as to how marks are going to be awarded for the 12th standard students of CBSE since their exams have been cancelled. And they come out with a formula. The formula was presented in the Supreme Court today, which in all likelihood would be accepted by the court tomorrow. And they have given a 30% weightage for 10th standard. And in that 30% weightage, they have said that they're going to take the only three subjects, the top scoring subjects in 10th standard, and their average would be taken. And there will be another 30% weightage given to 11th standard. And this time, all 5 subjects would be taken into account, and that would all consider the term, class test terms, as well as the final exam of 11th standard. And the balance 40% will be given to the pre-board exams, class exams, term exams, etc. of the 12th standard. I just watched a program where many students gave their response to it. And I could see that most students, even though they were not very unhappy with this formula, had one complaint, and the complaint was, why are you including 11th standard marks here? And the reason that they were giving, very clever, was that we are just getting exposed to these subjects when we enter into 11th standard, and therefore assessing it on the basis of that is very unfair to us. Therefore, 10th standard is fine, we study very hard for that, and 12th standard is fine, but 11th standard, we are getting exposed to the subjects for the first time. Why include that in the examination? Actually, in reality, what they are saying is, sir, we have been told in 11th standard not to take 11th standard seriously and study for 12th standard right from the beginning of 11th standard. It's not the fault of the students. It's the fault of the schools as well, because the emphasis given on the 12th standard examination has been so great that everything from the moment the student sets foot into the school to enter into the 11th standard, the system is tuned towards preparing them for the end of the 12th standard, the final exam, that the 11th is given a happy go by. There are schools where they start teaching 12th standard subjects in the 11th standard. There are schools where they finish the 11th standard subjects as a kind of formality, do a couple of exams, don't take those exams very seriously, and ask them to prepare for 12th standard. There are schools where they have conducted their 11th standard exams but have not given the mark list yet to the students because the school itself has not taken it very seriously. Now the whole question is, as far as the makers of this formula is concerned, you cannot tell them because of these reasons you should avoid 11th standard, because technically speaking you should have studied in 11th standard. And the people say that, particularly students who say that we are getting exposed to the subjects for the first time, don't judge us on that, is also not very fair. That is because in 11th standard you're not being quizzed on 12th standard subjects. They are only giving you questions based on what has been taught in class in 11th standard, and it's not an excuse to say we are getting exposed to the subjects. It is only the basics that we study. The exam is only on the basics. They don't ask you advanced questions in 11th standard. So let's be very clear and call a spade a spade. It's the exam system which makes the students say don't take 11th standard into consideration. Anyway, the fact of the matter is that there will be a school committee which will sit and decide on it, and there is something called school moderation, etc., which would be given. So at the end of the day, please remember that there are many students who have not taken 11th standard seriously. That is the case for a vast majority of students. So I don't think you would suffer that much. So please understand something. What is the lesson that you learn from here? I hope that COVID is not going to be a yearly affair and cancellation of exams is a once in a lifetime thing. But still, study well, whichever standards you study. Then you will not regret it later. Thank you very much.